Well, it is definitely the final frontier. Of course, we are talking about space, and it keeps revealing its secrets over and over again. And in the new book, Infinity and Beyond, one of the world's most celebrated astrophysicists is here to help decipher the clues that are definitely written in the stars. Of course, we were talking about astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is going to tell us about his new book. Welcome. Like I said, I'm a big fan. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I think you're really a fan of the universe, and I'm just helping you out in that in that ambition. Yes.
Okay. Well, the title To Infinity and Beyond, of course, that comes from the movie, but I mean that really does describe space. So, what can we expect reading this book?
Yeah, I think you're right there. But this notion of infinity in a sort of in the spirit energy of curiosity, you can go back hundreds of years. If you're standing on Earth and you say, okay, there's a moon up there, how might I get there? That's a quest beyond the known laws of physics and any kind of technology at the time. But that shouldn't prevent you from having that dream. So this book chronicles people's efforts to ascend Earth, go into the air. The first such folks were aeronauts. And the first aeronauts was a sheep, a duck, and a chicken. The people knew, we're not going up there first. We don't know what's going to happen. So they sent up some animals, all right? And then, but will that take you to the moon? No. That we need more technology for that. Now we're on the moon. We've been to the planets, at least with our robotic emissaries, and we're still dreaming about traveling beyond. And so the book explores the fits and starts of this human quest. And along the way, there's the scenery. There are movies that have attempted the same thing. And I'll talk about them if they get their science right or if they get their science wrong. And that's the pop culture alignment of the science, where we find that people learn things more deeply and in a more interesting way when we make that connection. And that's the DNA of my podcast, which is Star Talk.
Well, and also with science, as you keep learning more and more and more, you learn what you don't know. And one example, you talk about how set aside things like the color of the sun. What other things are folks going to learn like that?
Yeah, everyone draws the sun as yellow. And well, have you really thought about that? Because when is the only time anyone ever looks at the sun? Well, it's at sunset, all right? Where it's very dimmed by the crap in Earth's atmosphere, and then filters out all of the blue light that was in the full spectrum white light. That is the sun. The sun ends up looking yellow, and you say, oh, the sun is yellow. Well, in the middle of the day, I don't advise you look at the sun, but if you manage somehow, it would not be yellow, it would be white. But no one says that because they only see the sun at sunset. So there's a bias that we have based on our own life experience, and the methods and tools of science enable us to cut through that and establish what is authentic and objectively true in this world.
And speaking of pictures and the way things look, a lot of pictures in the book from the James Webb Telescope, which I guess the best way to describe it, the Hubble was great, and this is just exponentially that much better, right?
Celebrate San Antonio with us on YouTube.
Yeah, all of your favorite DIY videos, food, drinks, tips, and tricks. If you've seen it here, it's on the SA Live YouTube channel.
Just search KSAT SA Live on YouTube and like, subscribe, and ring the bell.